Hi guys, this is Dave again. So we're gonna react today to why Sick Boi is off all streaming platforms. A few people have told me now that it's been took down because of copyright issues by KUJO Beats. So we're gonna react to this. First of all, I just want to say thank you for all the follows and all the subs. We're nearly at 300 subs. So we're doing really well. I just want to say a big thanks for all the support of everyone. But yeah, let's keep the love keep coming, and let's get the channel bigger and more follows and more views so we can get the message out there. Okay then guys, right, let's get started.
This is a video that I never ever really wanted to have to make, but it's very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls into their work, and that work is tainted by money or greed. A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boi has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video, for promotion. It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video, because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this right at the end. People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am, they know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists.
There's no way REN's done anything to like nick someone else's music or lyrics or tunes. Like REN would have done everything legit. He supports people, man. That's what he does. He gives people the flowers. That's what he does. I can guarantee you now, REN's not up for. I will put my house on it. Like genuinely, like.
So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if KUJO and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge, so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give context for all of this, back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? If anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats. I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right, from a producer called KUJO Beats, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for
A limited license, $99, pounds, yeah. Okay. So what's the issue then? If you bought it, what's the issue? It's yours, surely.
Later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc. Right? After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here just in case KUJO.
Then Monday 6 January 2023. Okay, hi guys, because Sick Boi was a licensed beat, thought I send you guys this to make sure nothing will be breached in the contract. We need to turn the contact ID off when disputing audio and visual. Okay, it looks all legit to me from here.
Claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on.
Hi guys, can we update Spotify, Apple credits, etc. to include producers and tracks? I sent license over for, please. If you read the license, it says that they need to be credited, and just from a moral standpoint, it'd be good too. Wicked, it's Wicked 11. Obviously, he's blocked out other people's replies. I'm guessing they said yeah on him. Yes, obviously that's the job. Wicked, I'll have to say what to be creditors and the licenses. Some of them are different. Wicked. So what's going on then? Like, it looks all good to me. Like
Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers. I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like very soon in everywhere, and as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat, and if they
producer warrants that he didn't sample, so I'm reading this thread. Producer warrants that he did not sample. Any copyright material sound recorded belongs to other person, film or corporation referred as owner. Without this having notified license, the license show no obligation to approve the use of sample. So, KUJO Beats didn't own it. If he didn't own it, I was able to sell it.
If there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right? So yeah, I think there's no problems. I buy the beat, I record a song. This is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. That's like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars.
I mean, this is a #1 song, I believe, as well. So it's like, well, was. If there's wrong, sum it up with the issues.
I would love to talk to the if anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face, just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did. Because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that, I think, must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you if you're.
Couldn't it just all been solved then? Why can't it be solved like in just as men, as business people? Why did it have to come down? Like, surely people could have just talked and got it sorted.
If you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there, make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey. And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff. Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boi has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy KUJO Beats' channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here.
Yo man, my song just got a copyright strike. Had paid for that tag like you requested. What's going on? My channel has a copyright strike now. That video had millions of views. Was paid for through BeatStars, and we even spoke about it. What the hell? What's he playing to this KUJO Beats? Like, is this some kind of rogue? It's got to be legit. It's a proper company. Sounds a bit weird to me.
No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, "Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this." And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago with him being like, "Yo, big up your work, it's sick." So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, "Dude, what's going on?" Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment on his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, "Bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this."
So he's tried to get hold of him, he's tried to talk to him, and he's tried to do the right thing, sounds like to me. "Hey man, want to understand what's going on with our dispute. I thought you had been credited fairly everywhere. If you haven't been, it's totally my bad, and I was going through my brain damage treatment at the time, and I'll message you, but I will make sure the update is all done correctly." So, yeah, fair enough. Like, but in fairness, from a business point of view, like, if there should be mistakes when it's this level, but things do happen. But people should be looking after you, really, then. It's not all on you all the time. In regards to this sample, we've got a message saying that sample jar hadn't been cleared, but I had nothing to do with what's happening. That was my publisher. They just told me they were dealing with it, and I heard nothing about it since. I'm really confused on what's going on. But I love to sort it so everyone's happy, because I want for your sake and mine for this to go not for mine for this need to get to legal, because it's such a pain in the ass and incredibly thing can happen. If you could let me know in my team, and we'll be talking to you, and we sort of get on, because if something they done wrong on their end, and I want to resolve this as quick as possible, basically. I just really try and focus on the music and stay out of all things business. Well, that's what he's good at. So I have no idea what's on the dispute going on. Just forward some comments from your reply to someone, which is kind of surprised about. So he says, so he's not getting back to him yet, and he's saying a bit weird stuff in elsewhere.
What's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram, and for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If KUJO and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they are welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds, and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea about. I've been in Canada.
I'm not gonna... Okay, I'll read it. "Hi Ren, I'm really sorry that it's come to this. I especially asked my legal rep not to request a strike since I want to avoid this type of situation. My has been in contact with your lawyer, who has been incredibly handling the situation. Again, I'm sorry for this total cock-up not doing. We have been in negotiation for months and come forward to reasonable terms according to industry standards." So, yeah, like I talk about and see and said, I'm still waiting to updates from my rep and B stars. He should have told you, and then put, "All I was told that a couple of months ago that the chore sample hadn't been cleared and they had chasing us for money, and that has been dealt with. So I just figured it out was the sort of behind the scenes. That is why all I've been doing is surprising." So KUJO put, "All I was told that a couple of months ago, but the chore sample hadn't been. I was also made aware that and I'm sorry it caused you so much trouble. Yeah, man, sorry that it caught you off guard." So that seems quite reasonable. No one's been an idiot there, really.
And he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're alright, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying about the situation, when I thought that we like on the same page here. So I pull him up on it, and he's like, "Oh no."
So he's been caught saying stuff to other people, and he's lying. Can't he get sued for that? It's against Ren's character, isn't it? You can't tell lies, especially when you're someone who's well known in the public eye. This, I'm putting on false information. I'm not, brother. I'm not saying you're lying. I'm addressing the fans. Well, that's not a nice thing to say about fans, is it? I edit the comment to make it clear. One sec. You said you hot me and my team would be right thing, and I don't even know what is the issue. I'm really not trying to damage your image, bro. Well, it sounds to me like, mate, and it sounds to me, if you're not careful, you could be getting in more trouble. I'm really not trying to damage it. Yeah. Okay, let me go and edit the comment. I'll get back to you straight away. It's a bit late. The damage is done, mate. Like, you can't put something like wrong things about a big artist like that and just say, oh, I'll just change the comments. That's not how it works.
I didn't say you were lying when he clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay, maybe another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening, because I'm in the dark about all of this situation, and he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to KUJO and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this in bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel.
One thing, I'll be having a damn word with my lawyer. If I'm a big artist like you, and my lawyer's taking forever, I would be changing lawyers, mate, if I were you. I'm just saying.
Channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone first, if this was getting so like blown up. Like maybe the lawyers, maybe KUJO could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did.
So he's took down the song, #1 hit, and KUJO's took it down. And you got REN's fans, the Renegades. Oh, KUJO's had it. I bet he went mental. I bet everyone went mental. I could just imagine, like, I've just joined the party and, like, I'm getting such love. Like, I can imagine the amount of abuse he must have got at KUJO. I don't think he realised what kind of abuse he's going to get from this man.
So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that KUJO's posted, calling me a coward to pay the royalties he's owed, and I'm like, what royalties?
It's being paid, yeah.
That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to KUJO, which should be paid to KUJO, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which is nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right?
This sounds like KUJO's being greedy, very greedy. Greedy people get done. Oh, KUJO.
So it's a very bizarre thing to keep saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently, never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit. So I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like, the hell, like, cowardly. Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of it.
So he's saying, I don't understand why your lawyer didn't dictate anything. This is on him. Maybe he's got a point to that. Maybe his lawyer should have been quicker. I'll be getting up phone to that lawyer. Could have this been all stopped if his lawyer was? I don't know. Is KUJO lying again? Yes. Yeah, to give him a copyright strike as well, man. You won't get 3 of them, and you're out. So it's like, it's very difficult. It's hard at minute. Yeah.
At this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed. So I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money. Doesn't affect me in any way. So like, I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the publishing. It's cool. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says,
a quick read. All I want to know is nobody's telling me is there a legal obligation to either inform me and clear and sample before I bought it? Yes, it should cover publishing. If no, let's just split the publishing. Yeah, so what he's just said, so he's happy to split it. I also want to totally don't understand why it was there for copyright strike on a YouTube video, which has absolutely nothing to do with publishing. Because whether that you as a representative, that is, I'm not saying that word, to do, and it's harming my own hard work. I don't care whether the splits end up being at all. I care about is that the legal right or wrong here, so I don't understand why no one gave me an answer. It's simple to me. Sounds like Ren's being fair at first. Ren's a fair dude, man. Anyone who knows Ren, I mean, I'm getting to know Ren, but there's people that know Ren a lot more than me, but I'm getting to a very fair dude. There's no way Ren's going to try and nick money out of someone. He's got no need to. I mean, the guy's filthy rich now. Like, why would he need to pay? This money you're talking, it'd be a small little bit of change to Ren. Like, he's got no need to.
It's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not. It's up to the producer. But unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing.
He stealed a stolen sample. So how's he steal a stolen? I know KUJO, like, he kind of, like, had a sample selling and it wasn't his, but I didn't realise he stealed it. I thought he, like, must have bought it off someone else.
Split, right? So, like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here, and he's flipped on his head, like, we'll be good to you, you know, because I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me. They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also, I didn't actually violate the contract. Not intentionally. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me, send me an email. Like,
this all could have been sorted just by a text message to Ren. Like, Ren would have been on it straight away. I mean, I wouldn't be very happy with my lawyer if I were Ren.
You've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work, so like, send me an email about this. Anyway, he says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment and then into the future, when I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus the £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that. But because like, may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I haven't put.
That's it, really. Ren would have given him more anyway. It's me knowing Ren, he's like, he's not money focused as such. He would rather treat someone well and lose money than earn money and treat someone crap.
like it lies about the situation, right? But nah, out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right?
Is this a normal thing then? It can't be. So I don't think he's going to be buying any beats anytime soon. Can they do that? Can they sell an unlimited license and then it's not? Like, surely there's got to be some fraud there. Like, as a company, you're telling people it's a limited license. I might possibly be in the small print, but it's like, even so, from a court of law point of view, you're kind of not being very good there to people. How many people are going to fall into this trap?
And it says that if I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now, this is what I breached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rise.
Exactly what we're doing here. Yes, it's true. Yeah, so it's kind of, yeah, it's what Ren's saying, exactly what he's saying. He does it, like, we've just got to fill out a form. So if I react, so, like, this is no, because there's no music in it, but when I react to Ren's music video, I have to fill out a form. His team email me to say yes, yes or no, but usually it's yes, like, so there's no issues. I've got people's emails I can email if there's any issues to talk to. So they are very, very good to us, and people, like, he's right in what he's saying.
Tide lifts all ships, baby. So like, I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed, which is pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boi as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it.
Ren fans are very protective. Ren ain't got any control over that. Ren will tell them to not show any hate, and to not, because Ren's not a hateful guy. I'm guessing through all this he don't hate him anyway. I won't be surprised if Ren just says, kind of, well, let's move on after this. It's not like he doesn't hold hate. It's not a, yeah. I won't be surprised if that's what he says.
I never once encouraged them to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down, because this was proper stressing me out, and I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. The time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea, because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the public post out, a lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what, I don't want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me, I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just want.
See, exactly what I've just said. Yeah, there's no way you would want it. I mean, end of the day, he knows, Ren knows the amount of crap what's gonna come this. I won't be surprised if he tries to protect him away, knowing how much heat's coming his way.
To get the song back, that was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing, because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry, yeah? You and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing. Because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more.
So he's offered him to do another beat in a track. So why wouldn't you do that? Has he done that? I'm guessing no. We all eat have been. Why wouldn't he take that? I don't get that. Like, that's a very good offer.
And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day is...
What an idiot. Why? He's just kid you a branch. I'll leave branch there, man. You need to take that. Like, it's massive. Rent's massive. Like, amount of money. You earn a lot more money on another record.
It's a bit of a silly move given what happened and what happened next, but it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about in this situation, but it would also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out this looking good. Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, he said that a British artist has got in touch with him and been like, REN steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it, takes the post down, and then like
He's telling more lies again, man. KUJO, what are you doing? You can't just say lies. From a business point of view, you can't say lies. You would get absolutely rinsed in court. What are you doing? Someone needs to tell this guy how to run the business, man, because he's not playing smart.
And then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and KUJO, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to KUJO face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all. Like, taking the video down is an aggressive move. And also, I didn't take it public, first of all. KUJO was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even made the comment, calling me a liar, a coward, a numb. So like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and then explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is KUJO was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, I can answer that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person. And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to KUJO. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful, given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man, like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults. Like, I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother. And
this all could have been sorted if lawyers were quicker and KUJO wasn't greedy and just talked. Like, why has it gone this far? Like, surely, like, come on, guys, get it sorted.
And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned, but it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous, and I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but this is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the f is this? So I message him and be like, yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile. I realise that it's KUJO's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages. Because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what? He needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever. I'll leave her out of this. But she sees that I've unsent the messages, and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie?
His
We'll
girlfriend
start chatting
gets
for
involved.
a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like...
He's been getting some grief off your fans. Renegades, have you been naughty? You've been getting some grief. I said it when I heard it. I went, you're going to get some hammer. Like, oh, you've upset his girlfriend. You bad people.
amicable after a while of talking to each other. Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like basically the long and short of it is like she feels like KUJO's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what KUJO feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of...
What?
Have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other. Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like basically the long and short of it is like she feels like KUJO's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what KUJO feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which...
What? You can't threaten to break someone's kneecaps. What are you doing? What are you doing? You can't go and do that around. Especially, like, and to write it down as well. Proof. You might be seeing a lawyer again. That's all I'm saying.
Even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent... Later on, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics.
Can you imagine if Ren written to what reaction would have come from if Ren threatening to break her kneecaps. Could you imagine? The world would go crazy. So it's not okay for her to say that to REN. I'm sorry, that's not. Because if that were REN, it'd be massive.
By simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing.
He's getting upset now. I can tell his eyes. His eyes are getting it away, and he's holding back. You can tell with his face. You look at his face there. He's not happy.
A part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like, we seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about...
Yeah, I mean, business is business, and he's not... KUJO is not exactly being good in this, but no one deserves that, really, in fairness.
Like, her ADHD, and knows that I've got ADHD, and, like, you know, maybe we've just got... So I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level-headed, right? So, like, cool. You know what, maybe these guys are, it's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know, but then at this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way. Even though I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample, I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with. We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning, I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then...
Wow. All the statements of Minister KUJO in state of mind of what actually went down before closed doors. KUJO never asked for more than he was owed. He only asked for 100% either. That's not whatever. Tell him all lies, man. What they're trying to do, they're trying to get absolutely...
I see a comment on Anthony Ray's video where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up... She wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind because I'm like, these guys, they're like, they pretend they're on my side and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like, I pull her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, you know? So she's like... Yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from KUJO's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but... So I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous.
REN could take him to town, but he's not kind of... He's not that... Say what I said at the beginning, he's not that kind of guy. He could though.
Basically, she also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer KUJO solutions and being amazingly supportive and sympathetic. I refused to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing KUJO not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register KUJO. which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that, and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for KUJO in that, when I didn't have to fight for KUJO because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on KUJO's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principles still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, where's the video? And I wanted to address it all at once. And I also felt like I was being treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. REN took in public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Kujo's claimed to me in public that has been chasing publishing money for over a year with no reply, which is why he was so annoyed as his girlfriend. This was another lie, as proven the next screenshots. Okay. Wow, I'm not reading all that, but...
Right, let's take this home now. At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged KUJO's girlfriend and him saying, it's the first time I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right? And my principles. And I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people. How I treat people that I work with, right? So them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to KUJO, and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying, you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final. If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything. So I messaged back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke, and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like. And I know this is not the same situation. It's not like KUJO is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off.
So REN took it down himself. Interesting. Because it's on his own terms. See, that's clever in a way. Then he can get back to him in his own way, I guess. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know. And it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough, because of what the song was and what the song meant to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also sent a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, KUJO, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me. Right, because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and that regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second. That song I was proud of. What it meant to people, I was proud of. The messages that I get from people every day, telling me like how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times. You know, like, that's gone now. That's taken away from people. So yeah, pissed off. Anyway, So I sent that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this. It's ridiculous. One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost all patience. One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? He's saying that that's my ego. It's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get...
But if he's selling a stolen beat, won't KUJO, who owns this beat, they're going to want their money off him. So he's going to get sued from other person who does own this beat. Surely.
My bag, I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher. And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him a bit of a publishing split, just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but I just want this situation over with. So the song's down. The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, alright, peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Which is really funny, considering, the message earlier where he told me that it was an honour, or it was like, it was really good to work with me. Funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to KUJO.
Oh no.
And it's coming out next week. It's coming out
called?
a week today. It's called KUJO Beat Down.
Oh, we're going to react to that next.
I'm
going to do that.
We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boi, because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine. So for the anniversary of Sick Boi, the album, you will be getting Sick Boi, the beat, remade, bigger
cool,
and
man.
better than ever, without KUJO's input on it.
Yeah.
So look forward to that as well. And then there's also a third song dropping that's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, alright? I'm just going to warn you there. And before KUJO and his, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow. And so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song, because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt
Beat Down
as to where everything stood
in
this
wait
situation,
to
and why you don't have a song that means so much
to do
to
that
so many
after
people,
this,
and it means so much to me.
I'm going to record that straight after this video, and both videos will be released at the same time, so you can watch both. Yeah.
But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you, sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
Right, guys. Wow. That is basically REN getting back at KUJO in his own specific way. That's why I love REN, man. He don't get lawyers involved. He don't do any of this dark art stuff. He just makes a video. He takes that video down, makes this video, and gonna release Sick Boi, and basically puts two fingers up. Oh, I love it. I love it. He's so smart. I love him. Right, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to sub. As I said, I'm going to react to KUJO Beat Down soon. So both videos will be released at the same time, so you can watch them both together. Okay. I love you all. Keep safe, everyone. Bye.